Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk. It's brought to you by the Detroit Lions on the Prowl and the Belly Up Sports Network. Today, we're going into undrafted free agency part 1. We got a lot of news and rumors, but first, I got to bring in one of my main men here, the man of steel himself, Curt Steele.
What up, though? Welcome to the show, people. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. We got your comment cards. We got the question of the day. We got Detroit Lions on the Prowl trivia. And we got dessert with your man, Curt. You know how I get down. But you got to know who we have on the third member of the team.
Who? It's Mike Jones. Who's Coach Mike Jones? What's going on, Lion fans?
Let's get this thing started
right now.
Lego.
It's Detroit Lions talk, baby.
We're going to get up, and on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Yes, sir. We in the deep.
Welcome back to the show, Lions family, and we've got a report in Detroit Lions news and rumors. It's really interesting. Why don't you tell us about it, Curt?
All right, so there happens to be a vacancy. The tight end room got a little smaller. Josh Hill announced to the team that he is going to be retiring from the NFL. Now, he did in this offseason, when he did sign with Detroit, he said that it was going to be hard leaving the only team he'd ever played for. He spent all his career down there in New Orleans. I believe it was 8 years, something like that. So, and, you know, he was saying, you know, the kids were excited to move somewhere with snow and, you know, after the school year. But, you know, something happened, and now he's announced his retirement. I can understand exactly where it's coming from. The young fella said that, you know, it may be time for Dave Burkett was announcing that this may be kind of hard for him to move his family, you know, from place to place. I can understand that 100%. Being in the military, you have to move every couple of years, and that is tough, especially on kids, to have to uproot them. They start making friends. They start getting associated with people that they really care about, and then you upheave them just like every few years. So, I mean, my kids have lived everywhere and anywhere. We're talking about Texas, North Carolina, Virginia, Oklahoma, Hawaii. So you're looking at, you know, every few years, these kids have to, you know, uproot themselves, you know, make new friends. It's always tough on those kids. And it is maybe something where it was best for his family that he just shut it down and retire and just, you know, go back and live the life you know, they're accustomed to down there in New Orleans. But it makes that tight end room just a little bit smaller. The only player with a NFL snap in the tight end room right now is TJ Hawkinson. So, I mean, it wasn't something where he was just like, well, you know, I just don't want to come. It wasn't ever what, like, they didn't have a role for him, because they had a role for him. You know, it wasn't have anything to do with that, but it was like, you know, I maybe need to, you know, do this for my family. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, family first, man. Always family first. You know, a lot of people, you know, they say the money and all the team, and look, man, it's family first, and there's no more you can say than that. Family first.
Yeah, absolutely. And I, on this point, that's going to hurt the Lions a little bit, but because they're the way they are, I think they're going to be okay with that. Leads us to the second report here. Former Lions tight end Darren Fells to visit Detroit. My first thought when I saw this, he's still in the league. Anyway,
that dude tore it up in Houston the last couple of years.
But he was in Detroit like a long time ago. Well, I felt like it was a while ago. Yeah,
it was only 2017, man.
It was 5 years, dude.
You know what?
Years. I can't count.
I would say this. I liked him in Detroit. I didn't understand why he left. I was like, where did he go? Why did you guys let him go? He went down there in Houston and like ripped it up. 11 touchdowns in 2 seasons. I mean, the guy, was a threat for Deshaun Watson. Even he was the target of that commercial that Deshaun Watson did, that IBM, whatever it was, the Smarter Solutions, whatever it was, and he's running around. But that was to Darren Fells. That catch was him. So Darren Fells had a really good career down there in Houston. I hope that we can bring him back. I mean, I like him because people just thought he was a blocking tight end, but the guy can catch. He's a big target, and he helps us in the red zone as well. So I'm hoping that he comes back to Detroit.
Yeah, he's about, I think he's 6'7", ain't he?
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah. So please, that might be that's a better Joseph Fourier coming in the end zone, man. So I like that, man. Darren Fells is always been a productive player. When he came to Detroit, historically, we really didn't use the tight end like that, because we had Calvin and we had Tate and we had Burleson. So we just didn't use him like that. But if he's counting on, he can be a weapon. Him and Hawkinson up the field, those two big, man, they eating up all that middle of the field. All of that middle of the field. And then you got Rashad Perriman. If we can put some stick 'em on his gloves, hey.
Don't forget about St. Brown too. I mean, he's
yeah,
going to be good as well in the slot.
And Hunter Bryant is not off the Lions. I said something yesterday about, now they did have released him with a non-football injury, but they brought him back and they placed him on the reserve non-football injury list. So he's not off the team. So he's still there. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So he has a opportunity to come back and be productive in his role. Because I like the young fella out of Washington. He's kind of that, down the field pass catching tight end. So he has some good size as well. So he's not as tall, but he has maybe a little bit of water frame that matches his height. So I like the young fella. So hopefully we can get him back in the fold sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
I love the other thing about Darren Fells, man. But when he played for us, I thought he did a lot better than I expected when he came in. A lot of pass catches, huge dude. I mean, you know what? If we're going to lose somebody like Josh Hill, we need to replace him, and Darren Fells would be a dual threat rather than just
he can block.
Threat. He can block.
He can block.
Better
he can
be
block.
6'7".
He's a big boy,
Yeah, that's what he was known for before he came to Detroit. He was known as a blocking tight end at his previous stop. So he can block. We know he can do that. So hopefully we can get that in there, and he can smash mouth down the field with some I would like to see him and Pennis and him and Sewell take on some blocks.
Oh man,
you get them two guys. You get them two guys pulling down the field on the screen. Woo,
right.
Man,
double stack it with Cephas and Amani and St. Brown. Oh,
there you go, man. There you go.
You got some room down the field.
I'm gonna kick this one to Mike after I say it, but the Lions signed free agent long snapper Scotty Daly and a guard at Evan Hell. Now, what does this mean for the Mule, Mike?
It means the Mule is gonna have to go to another stable because because you know what? Even though Don Muleback has probably been one of the most consistent Lions, like, you know what I'm saying? Like as far as besides Stafford, I think Don Muleback has just been consistent. But you've been consistently on bad teams. And we just don't want that mojo. Like you say, Curt, we don't want that mojo around here no more. We're trying to build a new. Look, we're trying to build a new. Why would you have a long snapper from 3 regimes ago when a third regime wouldn't even, no, we don't want it, man.
I hear this.
He's the last piece of that 0-17, 0-16 team. He got to go.
No, well, the coach was on that 0-16 team. Was he on that team as well?
But he wasn't playing though.
There's some of our scouting department that's still here from then.
Man,
don't
put that evil old Don Muleback, man. That guy has been a consistent long snapper in the NFL for his long time. I think he had that one mistake his rookie campaign, and he has been consistently great as a long. If they had a Hall of Fame for long snappers, doggone it, I know Don Muleback would be in that thing.
Well, the Patriots can sign him now.
Yeah, the XFL guy he's coming in. I feel like this. It means absolutely squat for Don Muleback.
I agree with you.
They brought in long snapper after long snapper after long snapper after long snapper, and guess who's been in the long snapper position for the Lions for the last 25 years? Looks like Don Muleback has been there. They keep bringing him in, and he keeps kicking them out because he can't compete with him.
This is just a just in case signing. I don't see
it's
Don Muleback going anywhere.
It's a competition thing. That's all it is. It's a competition thing.
He eats them up, spits them out.
Bruh, nah, the mule is not going anywhere.
Going anywhere.
But I like the story of the center we signed. Helms. I mean, the guy missed 2020 with COVID. I mean, for reasons for COVID-19. So, I mean, because he came out and in 2020, he was a undrafted free agent, I believe, for the Dallas Cowboys. Played at Minnesota State. So, I mean, the guy was a rock in college. He started every game there when he was in college. So, I mean, the guy he has that ability, the best ability, which is what availability. Yeah, so he plays. So just due to COVID, he just couldn't get in the league last year, because he just got passed over because of the COVID-19. I'll see. Maybe that's our backup center. We need one in the worst way. So we're going to talk about another guy later on in the program. But I like those two signings, their depth, and I like the approach that Brad Holmes. He said this a couple of days ago. They were asking him if he was going to fill the rest of the roster because he had a decent amount of roster slots after the draft. To get the 90-man roster up for camp. He's like, nah, ain't no hurry. I look around, I'll see who we got, and I'll see who's available. There's no rush to fill this roster up just right now. With a whole bunch of undrafted free agents. I'm gonna sign some, of course, but don't worry about it. We got some slots, and we'll fill them as we see fit.
I see a lot of these signings and some of the undrafted free agents that we might get excited about. I see a lot of these as camp bodies, and I hate to say this, but a lot of those players don't make the team. But in other situations, there's been a lot of undrafted free agents that have made the team and went on to have Pro Bowl careers. So you just never know about these guys. Next up is the NFL's compensatory pick formula for free agency. The article is basically saying that I thought it was Wednesday. Now, some people have said Wednesday. Some people have said Monday. I don't really know for sure at 4:00 that that if you get a free agent, it doesn't count against your salary or against your compensatory picks. That's all that's about.
Yeah, I like that because of the fact that it doesn't hamper teams from wanting to, because some teams would not want to sign free agents because it may hamper their compensatory picks for next year. So, having that where you can sign guys now and it doesn't affect that, and there's a ton of free agents out there on the market right now. So teams are going to start.
Somebody I like.
Yeah,
Safety.
There's going to be a bunch of signings here coming up shortly with some free agents, especially when we get around, OTAs and, especially before training camp.
All right. Does that after the draft? Like the compensatory pick doesn't affect free agency?
No, what it means is it's like if you sign, okay, so we were getting 3 compensatory picks for Kenny Galladay, Marvin Jones, and the kick returner, I can't remember his name.
Jamal Agnew.
And so if we had signed a free agent prior to this deadline, which either Monday or Wednesday at 4:00, which is it's on the NFL calendar. So if we had signed somebody, it would cancel out one of those picks that we would get because we got the free agent instead.
Right. Okay.
So that's how it works.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah. Too easy.
NFL analyst ranks Justin Fields ahead of Jared Goff. Are you serious? Justin Fields has never even taken the field for the Bears. Jared Goff is one. I'm not a big Jared Goff guy, but come on, he's our guy. And this is insulting to our guy. Yeah. This is ridiculous to me. What do you got on this, Curt?
That is the absolute. There's 2 takes I've seen recently that I was just like, are you freaking kidding me? That's got to be the dumbest crap I've ever heard in my life. It was that take that Justin Fields is already above Jared Goff, which the guy's never even played a snap in the NFL. How? I have no clue. And then this guy, I don't even know who this guy. I think he was shooting the video in his mom's basement. He said that Kenny Sewell was the worst pick in the draft. Was like he's vastly overrated. He's going to be the worst. He's going to be the worst guy ever for the Lions. The Lions are continuing to be a loser for making this pick of Penei Sewell. Are you freaking nuts?
It's Carlos Monarez Jr.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who this guy is. I mean, he may be Carlos Monarez's long lost evil twin, but I mean, I mean, these two takes
Oh.
have to be the stupidest things I've ever heard, like recently. Especially, how are you going to rate someone higher than a guy who's been to a Super Bowl and he's never taken a snap in the NFL? I
Right.
mean, damn. I mean, what are you thinking of? Next,
That's funny.
go ahead.
He's the
Mike, what you
MVP
got?
already.
Man, that's just people continuing to be down on the Lions, continuing to be negative about the things we do. And the only way we can change that is by our play on the field, by our never giving up. And I think that's the good thing about signing all these prove-it deals and signing undrafted free agents is they have something to prove. And they're not going to get complacent because they got money and this and that. They trying to get money. Like they're trying to get more money than what they got because they're at the bottom of the barrel. So I think the effort from an effort standpoint, and we're not going to be that same old Lions team. I think they'll give a lot more because they have a lot more to gain. They don't have their pocketbooks aren't big right now. You know what I'm saying? So
here you go, Jared Goff. Here's another chip to add to your shoulder.
To your shoulder. Can you carry all the chips on your shoulder at this point?
Man, that is. I can't, you know, though.
I'm starting to root for him just because I'm pissed at everybody else.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about us at Detroit Lions on the Prowl. We're fighting, and a lot of other YouTubers too say the same thing. And it's like you're fighting the national media, for real, because they don't know what the heck they're talking about half the time. And this is just a prime example of not knowing what the heck you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right. This kid may not even start this year. And he's better than Jared Goff. I'm not a big Jared Goff guy, but like I said, he's our guy right now.
Yeah,
don't
guy.
do this stuff.
And sometimes we're fighting even the local media.
Yeah,
I mean, some of those guys that you, I'm like, come on, man. Like, what's his name over there? Some of those guys on the ticket over there, I'm like,
Mike Valenti.
Mike, I know Mike Valenti. But you know what though? He's
not a bad guy.
But he's been complimentary of the Lions and their moves this offseason. He's been complimentary. I'm gonna hold up on Valenti. Some of the other guys, I hear on there saying, they had that same kind of thing with the Justin Fields. I'm like, dude, Justin Fields, we didn't need a quarterback. We didn't need a quarterback. And then the way too early mock draft that we have that I just saw yesterday had us picking number 2, had the Texans above us, and guess what they had us taking? A quarterback out of North Carolina. I'm like, nah, bro. And I've seen that guy, and he's playing in that same kind of system that Mitchell Trubisky played in. And I'm like, if he anything like Trubisky, I don't want him in Detroit.
No Trubumskis for us.
Nope.
But we did sign a few good players. We're going to go to our undrafted free agents right now. And first of all, we have a wide receiver that comes to us from Arkansas State. What do you got on him, Jonathan Adams, Curt?
All right, so he's 6'2", 210 pounds. This dude caught 79 passes for 1,111 yards and 12 touchdowns last year. And the Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Year, big body guy. He ran a 4.5 40, combined to catch 41 passes for 1,962 yards and 17 touchdowns over the past 2 seasons. I mean, this is one of those guys that he may be a dark horse to make the roster because we're kind of light on receivers.
Right. I like those numbers, man. That sticks out to me.
Yeah,
really.
watching him, man, I was kind of amazed at his ability to catch. This dude makes some spectacular catches in coverage, in tight. I don't see him getting a whole lot of separation, but that dude, he reminds me a little. Everybody's reminding me of Kenny Galladay lately since we were missing him a little bit, I think. But yeah, he gets up to the point of the ball, but man, does he make some catches. He comes back to the ball. He's got good body control for a big guy. And I thought he was pretty good. I thought he ran really, really well. I thought that the contested catches, he just wins almost all the time.
Right. Yeah, that's what we need. That's what we need right there. We have the second guy. We got Deangelo Amos. He's a safety. He's a little bit on the light side. He's 6'1", 185 pounds. He's a graduate transfer from James Madison. Amos appeared 9 games for Virginia in 2020 with 5 starts. He recorded 47 combined tackles with 29 solo, with 3 tackles for loss, 3 passes defended, and 2 interceptions. And he runs a 4.5 40, 4.54 40. So not bad numbers at all by Amos, but that 185 pounds, though, man.
But he's 185 pounds a hit. This dude
Yeah,
can lay the lumber, man.
He's a 185 pounds to smack you around.
He's going, he's
Right.
185 pounds. So I'm going to smack you in the mouth. This dude, he's pretty decent for me. You know, I mean, you say he's light, but man, this dude hits. He hits angry. You know, he knocks people right off their feet. I liked him. I watched him a little bit, and I like the kid. And we're really thin at safety right now. Really thin. I think that's going to change. I think we're going to bring a couple people in. I still think we're going to bring another free agent in. What do you got on Deangelo Amos, Curt?
Deangelo Amos, you know, like you said, he's an angry tackler. You know, graduate transfer from James Madison, which is a pretty good school. So, you know, the guy has some smarts on him. So I just like his kind of, he plays with that anger attitude. He fits that bite in the kneecap style that Detroit Lions want to bring in.
He does.
So I do like him. He, you know, I'm not looking for him to make the roster right now. I mean, he may, but, you know, he may be a practice squad guy, you know, going forward.
Might be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got Devonta Beckett. He's a linebacker out of Marshall. He's 5'10", 214 pounds. This dude's another dude that can fly out there. He really can. He can fly. He has an instinct for the ball. He hits viciously. And for some reason, this guy recovers fumbles like no other. He's really fast, too. I watched him film him knocking the ball out, going and getting it, running back for a touchdown. He's a really good linebacker. I like him a lot. I just think that, you know, we're going to have a lot of mix of these players for training camp, and we'll see who shakes out and impresses the coaches. What do you got on this guy, Curt?
Smaller guy, didn't have a really great pro day in the 40. You know, he did not. But
quick on
his football speed is better. His football speed definitely is better. He's on a light side for a linebacker, 214 pounds. You know, that guy, he's a little undersized. Maybe one of those guys who plays that hybrid type of player there where he can play, you know, safety and linebacker. Another guy who I may see looking at, you know, practice squad or something like that.
What else you got on him, Mike?
Well, one thing is they say we might run that 4-2-5 defense, in which you're going to need your Sam and your Will who play off the ball, but sometimes they drop back. You know what I'm saying? They leave those 2 linebackers to man in the middle of the field, and you're going to need versatility in that position group to, you know, because you're going to have those guys that got to play some safety. The Sam and Will have to play some safety. So, you know, getting a guy like him might be beneficial to the team. So it just depends on how he moves, his game time, reaction speed, the flip of his hips and stuff like that. But hey, I like it. He
looked pretty good. His production was really good too. He got 121 tackles, 13 games in 2019. He had 90 tackle performance in 9 games last year. 14.5 career tackles for loss of 4.5 sacks. Yeah. So not a bad career.
I mean, the guy averaged 10. He averaged 10 tackles a game last year. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right. Well, at least
very good.
4.5 sacks means he's a box safety. That's what that means.
That's what I thought too. That's what he looked like to me. We got the next guy up for bids is Rakeem Boyd. This dude, he's impressive to me. I thought his 40 time would be a little better by the way I watched him run. This dude, I mean, he breaks it a lot. And I mean, he breaks it to the house a lot. So when I was watching him, what else you got on Rakeem Boyd? He's 6 foot, 206 pounds, running back.
All right. Now he was a transfer. He led Arkansas in rushing in 2018 and 2019, opting out of the 2020 season after 6 games. Boyd, now they say he was 5'11", 213, but now we have him listed officially as 6 feet, 206. With a 1,000-yard rusher for 1,133 yards in 2019 with 8 touchdowns in 12 games. That's some good production. Now, if you guys don't know who he is, right, go over to Netflix and watch Last Chance U. Okay, so this is where he came on the national spotlight. It wasn't, his play in college. He had a stint at Independence Community College in Kansas, where he rejuvenated his career after transferring from Texas A&M because of academic issues. So the young fella, he didn't get down on himself. He made his way to kind of like that Cam Newton. Cam Newton didn't have academic issues. He had 5-finger discount issues, but
that's an issue.
But
wow.
Sorry about that. But he didn't get down on himself. You know what I'm saying? He got back into the game, went down to the JUCO level, got his stuff right, and then went back onto the national stage. And he did what he needed to do at Arkansas. He was a standout running back there. Like Jim said, the guy can break it to the house. And I don't put a lot of onus on some of those pro days, and especially this year for pro days and 40 times because of the combine. Some guys ran a lot faster. Some guys ran a little bit slower.
Right.
But it doesn't transfer. Excuse me. It doesn't pass the eye test for me because he plays a lot faster than that. Right. So the eye test shows me he's faster than his 40 time. But I'm rooting for the young fella. Last Chance U. I'm rooting for him to make the roster just because of that. You know what I'm saying? So and I'm telling you, a lot of these young fellas. Kerryon Johnson, you on notice, baby. Your girlfriend pregnant. You better step it up. Yeah. I'm just saying, Tracy, if you looked at Tracy Walker this offseason, that guy has been killing it, working out because he's got a brand new baby son, and he's like, this is the reason I go hard so he can rest and relax and just be a baby because I'm doing this for his future. Kerryon, you better get it. You at their 4th year. NFL careers only last about 3 to 4 years. So, boy, you better get on it.
But rub some CBD oil on the knees.
Something. I think the Detroit Lions are hungry for draft picks. I see him getting traded. I really do. I see Kerryon Johnson getting traded to a team that thinks that they can turn him around, and a change of scenery might be good for him.
Yeah.
Good luck to him. Jake Hausman, tight end from Ohio State, 6'4", 255 pounds. That's that mold right there. That's that mold.
Offensive tackle.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. He played in 30 games for Ohio State with 3 receptions for 26 yards and 1 touchdown. He's a 3-time academic All-Big Ten honoree and solid special teams contributor for the Buckeyes. Those numbers right there say to me that he obviously wasn't a factor, but he was enough to stay on the team because they say he was 3-time All Big Ten, so honoree. So he's a guy who can be developed. He's obviously gonna get a shot because we ain't got no tight end. So you know what I'm saying. So we'll see if he can be developed, and he might be a practice team player.
I think he earns his stripes on special teams, but this tells me he's a blocking tight end.
Yeah, he's a blocking tight end.
Mm-hmm. That what you think too, Curt?
Yeah, that's what his primary role was at Ohio State. Just kind of checking the film. He was a blocker. He really wasn't, guy. He wasn't he wasn't a pass catching tight end like the other guy that they had at Ohio State. So he was a guy who's primarily, he was there to, open holes for running backs and protect the quarterback. So that's what his role was at Ohio State.
Next, we got Drake Jackson. He's a center out of Kentucky, 6'2", 292. He's a senior captain at Kentucky who proved to be extremely durable while starting 45 consecutive games over the last 3 seasons. He's considered a technician at the position. He's a little bit undersized, but that's okay. Even our defensive tackle guy's a little undersized. But I think he might have played with Logan Stenberg.
I believe so. Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
So that might help him a little bit, or they can both go out the door. Not really sure.
Not sure.
I'm rooting for my man, but I ain't hearing much about him, and that's not a good sign.
If you're a 3-year starter in the SEC team, you got to be, you got to have something. Playing Division I, period, whether you playing for Appalachian State or you playing for Kentucky, you got to have some skill. You know what I'm saying? You got to be something, some potential. So we're not really heavy over there at the backup center position. So
Absolutely, I agree with that.
So I feel he can step in, and get some reps. And Ragnar can coach him up. He seems like he's a pretty good guy at trying to bring people. I think he's safe in his job, and he ain't worried about none of that. So
And we definitely do need a backup center.
Yeah, we have 2 of them on the roster right now. 2 backup center, potentially backup centers.
Yeah.
He played at Kentucky. Shout out to my man Tony Geiger. He's my frat brother. His son Jalen Geiger. He plays corner for the Wildcats over there in Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
So you can look at that. That's going to be a name. He's coming up now. So I think he's going to be starting. He's coming in to be a junior this year. So my man, he's doing his thing over there at Kentucky. But with Drake, he got me in my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Kiki. But when he get on the roster, you know what I'm saying? Do you love me? I mean, I'm just saying. We got just the cachet of having the name Drake. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe you get him on the team. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he knows any dance move or anything like that.
What if
You
he
know
could
how
sing?
his rap game is.
But
it may have potential to get him on the team. I'm just saying. You bring Jake. You know what I'm saying? Drake from State Farm. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
To be his backup dancer down there. They could do some videos or something. But no, I digress. But he's one of those guys who, like you said, Coach Mike, he's light in the frame, but he was a starter, 3-year starter at an SEC team. That's just not something that's taken lightly. Now I did hear someone compare him to someone else that the Lions took a few years ago, undrafted free agent, and shout out to my man. They said, he reminds them of the type of guy he reminds them of was Bo Benswazel.
I knew it. I knew it.
University of Wisconsin, just because of the fact that what's wrong with him, because he was a 3-year starter and he went undrafted. The same way that Bo Benswazel was a starter guard that was the top guard at Wisconsin, and all of a sudden he went undrafted. There's a reason for that. So maybe there's a reason why he went undrafted. Something's going on with that. So you just can't look at him as a totality. But I'm hoping God he's not like Bo Benswazel, because I don't want to hear this from Shawnee J for another 3 years about Drake.
Oh, wow. So that's our undrafted free agency. We're going to have more tomorrow, and, finish off the week with our free-for-all Friday, which is coming up Friday. Today at 3:00, we have the Zoom call for the gold members. So let's go check out that Wall of Fame and see who's on the Wall of Fame today, Kurt.
All right, we have our bronze members. We got Detroit Drew, Midwest Lion, Bubba Bo, John Kapler, Detroit Lions Talk with Micro Mike, Sub Z, Trap City Boys Entertainment. Boy, that's a long name every time. Crystal Wiley, Steve Castillo, Batman of the 313, and the Latino Lion. In our silver members, we got Nomis J, Jason Portis, Cap, Ice Cold, and Gold Lions. All right, gold members, we got Barb Coso, North End Ken, I always love that name, Just in the D, Miles Gibbs, our friend of the show who always has some great takes, Randall Flag 606, Randy Prince, the Gridiron Blitz, and the Dr. Detroit is always in. So to become a member of the Wall of Fame, click the join now button in the description to find out how you can become a member of the channel and get your name on the Wall of Fame.
Yeah, now we're going to go to Detroit Lions trivia. I want to see if you guys get this one. Who did Brad Holmes work for before starting his career in professional sports?
Ooh, that's a good one, because I kind of looked in his background too. Who did he work for
before starting his career in professional sports? Mike has given up the ghost. He said, "Nah, I'm good."
I'm being honest. Just being honest.
I know he went to North Carolina A&T State. He was an Aggie down here where I'm from, in my area, neck of the woods. Oh man, no, I know he was doing PR stuff, but I can't remember what PR firm he worked for.
He worked for Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Oh,
Oh wow.
okay.
Enterprise Rent-A-Car
hey.
is the answer to today's Detroit Lions
Wow.
trivia. That's actually yesterday's. Facebook, we stumped them. There's no winner there, but somebody got it. The winner today is on Twitter. Uper Lions fan got this right. I don't know how, but he did. So congratulations to Uper Lions fan.
You hit Google.
You know what, Brad? You know what, Brad Holmes probably was on one of those commercials for you know how they had those back in the day. They had those athletes that worked for. I'm an NCAA champion, and then I work for Enterprise. You know, one of those guys. You know, he may have been one of those guys. But
and now he's talking to the free agent saying, "We'll pick you up." No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Pulling up like that picture we saw on social media. How Jared Goff, they said it would during 8 Mile. He pulled up to the airport to pick up a Nasul. You know,
in his Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Enterprise beater. Yeah, congratulations there, Uper fan, Lions fan, because I don't know how you got that one, man. You that's a great. That's
an
great.
achievement right there.
That's
man.
great right there. You know.
All right. Let's go over the comment cards and see what you had to say. I love doing this part of the show because we just get your feedback and we can interact with you guys. It's absolutely amazing. Colin Nelson says the worst about Roberts is my dad and I were screaming for Kittle. He was clearly better by everyone's measure, and I think that Roberts was the tight end that we took instead of George Kittle. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know what though, George Kittle. Now, to his defense, Kittle was Hawkinson's backup at Iowa.
Yeah.
He wasn't a starter at Iowa, so I really didn't see George Kittle being the player that he was in college. Now he is now, because he was behind. I mean, even Noah Fett was on that roster as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. You know, there was one person who was rooting for Michael Roberts. And that's Robert Means, because he's from Toledo. And he was rooting for him and the big dude, the left tackle, that came from Toledo too. So he was rooting for him, man. He was high on him.
I know some people were rooting for Kareem Hunt as well. They wanted the Lions to take Kareem Hunt. I mean,
but Michael Roberts just retired in 2020. He went through 3 concussions.
Yeah.
Or 3 surgeries in 2 years. 3 surgeries in 2 years.
Oh, okay. That's sad. You know, this game is a collision sport, and it's a game of fruition. I mean, the average career, 3 to 5 years, that's it. I mean, that's all you get. I mean, for most players. All right. Luke Brunskill says, I was representing my Lions gear the other day and ran into a Dolphins fan. Boy, was he upset. Mentioned how they wanted Sewell to protect the quarterback, not a wide receiver. I told him, we've been doing the same thing and finally made the right decision when it comes to the draft. I can't wait for the season to start. Go Lions. Now, that's not the only fan base, especially with Cincinnati as well. Some of those fan bases, they were not happy with those guys taking receivers, especially with the state of their offensive lines. Cincinnati being one of them, because of the fact that you know what happened to Joe Burrow's knee. So, too bad, so sad. Let me drink a drink of the Dolphins' tears.
Right on.
Dolphins in Cincinnati, I think.
Right. Yeah. Hey. Anyway, Doug Prince 72 says, Mike Jones, Jeff Heath's safety was released by the Raiders. Multi-time defensive player of the week. Luck may be changed indeed. Curt, do you think Brad was likely, hey Jets, want to screw the Eagles? Hey, you know what? That might be some talk going on. It might be some teams who kind of got some hostility towards other teams. Might be like, you know what? I think they want them. You want to grab them? I'll grab them. If you don't grab them, I will if you won't. So, yeah, I think that might be going on.
Oh, man. To answer that, I mean, watch it. Brad Holmes give a damn what the Eagles were upset. I mean, it was they had a plan and they stuck to their plan at the board. I mean, everyone's, if you haven't seen the video, it's out there and it was kind of awkward and they were kind of yelling, kind of yelling at each other like, dude, what are you doing?
Trying to fist bump him. It's like, okay, I'll do that, but I got some issues.
It was kind of like, nah, bruh. You know what I'm saying? That's the dude I wanted. So, like I said yesterday, imagine him teamed up with like Fletcher Cox. I mean, that would be a formidable pair. But I like him. Actually, I like him matched up with Brockers and Ruzique. So, good for Brad Holmes. I mean, you know what's that? If you ain't pissing somebody off, that means sometimes you ain't doing your job.
Right.
That's right.
Never underestimate the petty.
Yep. The petty is real. I mean, I'm just saying.
That is real, man.
The petty is real. All right, Rod Love 313. Hey, what up, though? Yeah, come on, man. What up, though? Okay, the round we got St. Brown and Barnes. They were really good pickups. Definitely draft. He's giving a grade draft. So since that same old Lions label does not apply to this new leadership, God, I hope not.
Absolutely.
Yeah. As some Lions fan, especially, and I had that kind of like confused look on my face on day 2 when we drafted 2 defensive linemen back to back, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And I kind of went back to the same lines, and I was like, "Nah, let me just pump my brakes for a minute."
Let's pump
because
the brakes.
you know, that's something I've never seen with the Lions, taking 2 position groups like right back to back. So I'll give Brad Holmes a reprieve on that one.
Casey 1X says, I give the Lions draft class a B. I feel like they could have gotten a better linebacker and wide receiver, but they are both good. I don't know. I think they got the linebacker that fit what they wanted to do, both with his intangibles and his just angry. You know, and the wide receiver they got, I totally disagree with you because I think he should have went a lot earlier than he did. I like the draft the way it is, and I think they got the people they wanted.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not mad at the draft. Like I said, maybe they could have slid a safety in there, but hey, you know, you can't do it all in one draft. So, you know, Mike and Chris G. Mike and Chris. Okay, 2 y'all in one. Mike and Chris G says, Coach Mike, check out the UDFAs. You will be happy. I have I skimmed the list at first. I have checked out a few. Like I said, I'm kind of high on Drake Jackson, like Shawnee J was on both Ben Schwazzle. So I think Drake has a chance to make the team. I also think the receiver from Vanderbilt, I think it is, or Wake Forest.
Oh yeah, we talking about tomorrow. Say Sherrod.
Yeah. So, let me not let the cat out the bag, but I think he'll make the team, and you know it's 2 or 3 undrafted free agents I think that will make the roster. So
right.
Yeah, but I'm on you, Mike and Chris.
Okay, the question of the day today is, what do you believe about the draft in its entirety, including the undrafted free agents? Who do you like? Who do you not like? What kind of, if you're going to give a grade to this whole thing encompassing, including, you know, now Josh Hill's gone, we'll see how that works out, but the offseason let's do it as an offseason as a whole to this point. Give the Lions a grade A to F for the whole offseason so far. That's what I think I'm going to ask you guys today. Because you guys are really smart. I got to tell you, you guys are really, really smart.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Now we're going to come to my favorite part of the show. It's the dessert with my man, Curt.
All right, so I want to talk about our receiver we just talked about over there in our comment cards, Mr. Amon-Ra St. Brown. All right, so if you don't know about these guys, the St. Brown brothers, now they're the football equivalent of the the Ball brothers of the NBA, but with a better plan. I mean, their dad, Mr. John Brown himself, was a former bodybuilder. He competed and won 2-time Mr. Universe and 3-time Mr. World titles in bodybuilders in the 80s. Now, he changed his son's names to St. Brown because of the fact he figured his name was just kind of bland and did not have garner any attention. So he said he wanted to name his sons Saint Brown, and he named them after Egyptian gods. So
Wow.
you look at it's Amon-Ra Saint Brown,
Yep.
and then you said Equinemius Tristan Saint Brown, and then you have Osiris, Adrian Amon-Ra, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then Amon-Ra St. Brown himself. So two
That
of those
is-
young guys got the same name. All of them have a J in their name, just an initial, and it's for their dad, John. So
Wow.
these guys speak 3 languages. They speak German, they speak French, and they speak English. They all 3 of them were academic all-stars. They all took the SAT in 3 languages. They took them in 3 languages.
Wow.
So these guys are ridiculously smart. They've been lifting weights since they were so young. I mean, you're talking about they have been lifting weights since I would say got to be grade school. We're talking about like 6, 7 years old. Most of them have been lifting weights since then. Their mom only speaks to them in German. I mean, like that's all she speaks to them in. These guys are great off the field and on the field. So these guys, I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown was the youngest and was touted to be the most talented of the of the St. Brown brothers. You know, he has a brother in Green Bay, and his other brother, which is the middle brother, is still at Stanford. He decided to stay in college. So the St. Brown brothers are, a force to be reckoned with. I mean, you have Amon-Ra St. Brown is touted to be the most talented, the best route runner, the best blocker, and has the best hands of all the St. Brown brothers.
Man,
So
that's so cool. I mean, that is amazing, Curt.
The St. Brown brothers, I mean, to take the SAT in 3, and they all went to academically tough schools to get into. Stanford, USC. I mean, these guys went to really good academic schools. I mean, most of them had, we're talking about high 3-point GPAs or 4.0s. So, I mean, they're very smart. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown has said the kids at his school thought he was raised in a lab because he was, he was smart. He was a great athlete, and he was just, developed in a way where, these guys are just monsters. And whoever taught these kids how to play football, because I don't think it's dad, because dad wasn't a football athlete. I mean, he was a bodybuilder. So, I mean, but he said for his kids, he was the kind of the polar opposite of LeVar Ball, the big, mouthy, guy. He's a quiet guy. He pushes his sons, and he says, my vision for my kids I don't want them to have a job. I want them to play football because, and then what I want them to do is their goal is to not be outworked. So whatever they do in life, even if they don't play football, to outwork everyone at their position. If they're going to be the manager of a company, outwork anyone so someone can't come and take their job. So John Brown, former bodybuilder, I mean, he has really done a great job with his 3 sons, him and his wife as well, man. St. Brown brothers, if you don't know about them, go and look them up. What is that? HBO Real Sports profiled these guys a few years ago, and they've been flying under the radar a little bit because they're not as flashy and as the Ball brothers in the NBA.
I like them a lot. And final thoughts today for me, Curt. That was an amazing dessert. That the gods part about their names from the Egyptian, ancient Egyptian stuff. That was awesome. But Mike, guess what? I'm going to give you kudos as well. Look at that new video that he's got going on today, folks.
Man.
Look at that.
What
He
up,
looks sharp.
though?
Looking sharp. Looking sharp today.
Thank you. Yeah, man. I had to go out and get me a new camera, man. Because I was trying to adjust the lights. I'm like, maybe it's the lighting. Maybe, and y'all was like, man, maybe you got.
Uh-oh.
Looks like because you know what I'm saying, and all that. And I'm like, it got to be the camera then. It got to be. So I went out and got a new camera. Sam's Club special. You know how to do it. And yeah, man, it looked good though. I like it. I like it a lot.
All right. All right, my final thoughts for the day is what? It is Wednesday, hump day, baby. It is almost over. The weekend is in sight. You can see it over the horizon. So we only have a couple more days. I look forward to talking to the guys, the Gold members today at 3 o'clock.
Oh,
Love
please
that tune
stuff.
in. It's always great.
Please come in. Yeah.
If you have a Gold member status, please, join in with us today. We have great conversations with you guys. You guys get to meet with us one-on-one. It's just some good FaceTime with you guys. And as always, hey, you know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And as always, join the family. Subscribe to the channel because we don't have fans. We don't have viewers. We got family. And it's all love right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. As you go about your day, it's Wednesday. Grind it out. Work hard. Play hard. And you know what you got to do. If you're going to buy some gear, go over to fanatics.com. Click the link in the description, like your boy Curt Steele. And you can, the proceeds from that link go to help us grow the content on this channel. And check us out over there at bellyupsports.com. They just relaunched their website. It is very user-friendly. We have our own page over there. You can catch all the videos right there on the link over at Belly Up Sports. They have tons of podcasts. They have new content coming out every day, new podcasts coming out all the time, and some talented writers write some excellent articles over there on that site. So Wednesday, hump day, and whatever you do, you know what you got to do, baby. You got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my fellas, Mike and Jim, this is Curt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon.